Hello, my dear lingo lifters. How are you? This is Ma'am Aruj. I hope that you guys are doing well. First of all, thank you so much for your overwhelming support. I have been so happy. I was not expecting such a good response from you guys because, these days YouTube is just a craze and everyone is making a channel on YouTube. But like the support that I got, I'm so grateful to you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm going to give shout outs as well to the people who have been really supportive, but in a few videos. Okay, ji. So without further ado, let's begin today's lesson. Right. Right. So today our lesson is pronouns, and I hope that you guys already know what pronouns are. Pronouns are the words that take place of a noun. When I'm teaching pronouns, I usually do tell kids this that pro is basically a suffix. Okay, I hope that you guys know what suffixes are. Suffix is a word that comes at the start of another word to form a new word. Like like uh, possible के शुरू में m लगा दें तो it becomes impossible, right? So m is a small word that has been attached to the word possible to make a new word. So pro is also a suffix like m, and whenever you add pro to whatever word, it means that that word becomes m. For example, it means not. Okay, so possible means that it will happen, and impossible means it will not happen, right? So pro means to support or to stand for something. Okay, so pronouns are the words, the small words that support nouns. Okay, so just a language tip. Okay, pro is something that you can use for a lot of things. Pro feminism, for example. Okay, pro feminism would mean that you are supporting feminism, you support feminism. Um, but like anti feminism would mean that you are against feminism. So that was just a quick recap of the etymology. ठीक है, etymology का मतलब होता है कि why is a certain word named in a certain way. ठीक है, so pronoun is called pronoun because pronouns are the words that stand in place of nouns that support nouns. ठीक हो गया? Okay जी, let's move on to the next slide and look at the definition of pronouns. Let's quickly do that. Okay, ji. Pronouns, they take place of nouns. Why do we, use pronouns? क्यों जरूरी है to replace nouns with pronouns with certain other words? Because we need to avoid repetition in order for our passage or our writing to look beautiful. Um, for example, imagine that I'm writing a paragraph about my dog Tony. Okay, so I would say Tony is my dog. Um, Tony is two 2 years old. Tony plays with me. Okay, so you can see that in all these sentences, I'm repeating the word Tony, Tony, Tony over and over again. So in order to avoid repetition, I can replace Tony with he or it in certain places. Okay, Tony is my dog. He is 2 years old. He plays with me. Okay, so again, he can be used with dog when you know the gender. Okay, if you know that your dog is a female dog, you can use she with it. Okay, but if you don't know the gender of the animal, we usually use it with animals. Okay, so anyway, let's move on to the next slide, right? Um, so yeah, uh, let's go back. We are starting with personal pronouns. Okay, personal pronouns are the nouns that take place of something having a personality. It could be a thing, it could be a person, could be an animal. Okay, but जिसकी personality हो, जिसकी कुछ कोई characteristics हो, we are replacing that thing with that pronoun. Okay, so a pronoun can be used as a subject or an object. So again, whenever I am teaching English, I tell kids that you should first of all know that there is a sentence structure in English that is SVO. Okay, in the last video also, that I have uploaded, I have, told you guys about SVO. Okay, subject plus verb plus object. That is the journal way in which you write in English. ठीक है, your sentence is structured in English. एक subject होता है, then we have a verb, and then we have an object. right? Like Sarah eats apples. Okay, so Sarah eats apples is a sentence. Sarah is the subject, doer of the action. Eats is the verb, the action itself, and apples is the object, the thing on which the action eats is being performed. Okay, so a pronoun can be used both as an object and as a subject. For example, if you look at the same sentence that I wrote just now, Sarah eats apples, we can write she instead of Sarah. So the subject has been replaced by a pronoun she. Okay, we can verb will remain the same. Then in the place of objects, instead of apples, I can write them. Okay, so Sarah eats them. Sarah eats apples. She eats them. Okay, so I hope that this is clear. Let's move on and see what this slide tells us more. Right. Okay, so subject and object pronouns, they are basically the same, but it will depend upon what is the position of the person. For example, if I am talking about myself as the performer of action, I will call myself I. But if I am the one on whom the action is being performed, I'm going to call myself me. For example, so Sarah called me. Okay, now me is the person on which the action of call is being performed. But when I will be calling Sarah, I will say I called Sarah. Okay, so I will not say me called Sarah. Yeah, I will not say Sarah called I. Okay, object में the name of yourself is me. But when you are the subject, when you are performer of action, you will not call yourself me, you will call yourself I. Okay, this is something very important sentence correction के लिहाज से भी. All right, let's and you can go on with the rest of them too. Okay, acha. Then you remains you. Okay, Sarah called you, you called Sarah. Okay, he becomes him. Okay, Sarah called him, he called Sarah, right? And she becomes her. She called Sarah called her, she called Sarah. Then these two I left out. This one, first of all, we is a group in which you are also a part, right? ऐसा group जिसका part आप खुद भी हो उसको, sorry, what did I do? A group in which you are also a part is called we, but a group in which you are not a part is called they. ठीक है, जिस ग्रुप का आप खुद हिस्सा नहीं हो उसको हम they कहते हैं, राइट? और जिस ग्रुप का आप खुद हिस्सा हो उसको हम वी कहते हैं. सो सारा कॉल्ड अस and we called Sarah. Sarah called them and they called Sarah. Okay, I hope that this is clear. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, subject pronouns, they take place of a subject. Okay, and what is a subject again? A subject is the doer of action. Okay, and it always comes before the verb. ठीक है, usually लिखा हुआ है, but it's most of the time this happens. ठीक है, I will tell you when it doesn't happen, but that is for some other day. Okay जी, we're going to look at some examples. The children went to want a new playground. ठीक है, the children is the subject. ठीक है, they are doing the action of wanting and the object is playground. They want a new playground. Okay, the children. Now, a lot of you will say children's. Okay, this is something that I have noticed so many times in Pakistani people that they say children's आए हुए हैं, children's, उनके children's. ठीक है, women's. No, women itself is a plural. आपने उसके साथ s नहीं लगाना. Woman is singular, women is plural. Child is singular, children is plural. ठीक है, so they want a new playground. James likes ties. ठीक है, James को टाइयाँ पसंद है. नहीं, what do you call it in Urdu? Whatever. He likes ties, right? Megan has a white dog. She has a white dog. Okay, now we are moving on to the next category of pronouns, which is the object pronouns. They take the place of an object. The object is usually after the verb. Okay, so subject is usually before the verb. Okay, sorry, I have misspelled before over here. Never mind. It's B-E-F-O-R-E. I made a mistake while making the slides. That's okay. That's not a problem. I hope that you've understood it. Again, the object will always come after the verb. Like now, we are going with the same examples, but this time, हम object को replace करेंगे. The children want a new playground. The children want it. ठीक है? A new playground was this object. ठीक है, एक थिंग का नाम है, एक जगह का नाम है। अब जगह को हम ही तो नहीं कह सकते या हिम तो नहीं कह सकते, जगह का जेंडर तो नहीं होता, तो वी आर गोइंग विद द जेंडर न्यूट्रल वन, इट। ठीक है, जेम्स लाइक्स टाइज, जेम्स लाइक्स देम। ठीक है, अगर एक टाई होती तो वी वुड हैव सेड जेम्स लाइक्स इट, बट इट्स प्लूरल, सो जेम्स लाइक्स देम। मेगन bought all the dogs, so Megan bought them, right? Now, again, let's go over this. I becomes me, she becomes her, he becomes him, it becomes it, you remains you, it remains you, they becomes them, and we becomes us. Okay, so again, I called Sarah, Sarah called me, she called, Sarah called her, she called Sarah, he called Sarah, Sarah called him, and then it cannot call Sarah. So let's imagine that it's a dog. So we can say that it licked me and I will not lick it. So I I patted him. ठीक है, I patted it. ठीक है, so it remains it. ठीक है, so you called me, I called you. Sarah called them, they called Sarah. We called Sarah, Sarah called us. ठीक है, so again, ये called वाली example, keep it as a pet in your mind to just remember that, when will you where will you place which, uh, a pronoun. Okay, now another category of pronouns that you need to know, but like it's not that important when it comes to grammar, is singular and plural pronouns, right? So by now you already know that not you actually, I and me, she and her, he, him, and it are used for singular pronouns. Like we did जेम्स लाइक्स टाइज, राइट? तो प्लूरल था तो हमने वहां पे इट नहीं लगाया, हमने वहां पे देम लगा दिया, वी यूज्ड देम ओवर देयर। ठीक है, बट इफ इट वुड हैव बीन प्लूरल वी वुड हैव यूज्ड देम, right? So plural pronouns are the ones that replace more than one person, place, or thing, and singular pronouns are the ones that replace a singular person, place, or thing. अब you का जहां तक ताल्लुक है, oh, what did I do? Now I told you guys that you is something that we'll discuss later. I and me will always be singular, she and her will always be singular, he and him will always be singular. ठीक है, आप किसी एक मर्द की बात कर रहे हो तो आप he and him use करोगे। अगर you are talking about, for example, two boys, for example, you are talking about Aslam and Adnan, right? You will not say he and he called me. You will say they called me. ठीक है? So, yeah, you will not say I called him and him. You will say I called them. Okay, whenever it's plural, you will go for the plural pronoun. They are them. Okay, when lot of you are doing the work, you will not say that she and he and I did this. You will say we did this, right? However, you is unique because whenever you are using you use you for singular as well as plural. Okay, for example, imagine that you are talking about, for example, right now I'm talking to you guys. Okay, there's so many of you, right? But I am saying you. Let's imagine that I am teaching a class, okay, and maybe the class is, they have done a really good job in their English exam. So then I will go and I will say that you guys have made me so proud. You have made me so proud. Okay, but if I'm talking about the just one child in the class, and even then I will say you have made me so proud. So you can be used for both singular and plural. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear, but I have written it in singular. However, it can be used for both singular and plural. Okay, now this is something that you need to remember. When you are in a sentence, you go last. Okay, this is very important. When you are in a sentence, you go last. ठीक है, जब आप अपने बारे में बात कर रहे हो, when you're talking about yourself, you will put yourself at the end. It will never be I and Larry ran to the park. It will be Larry and I ran to the park. Okay, no matter how many people there are in the sentence, if you are part of the sentence, you will come at the end, right? It could also have been we ran to the park. That is also correct. Okay, so but the reason why I'm doing this is because this is something that children usually make a mistake with, and let me tell you how. Okay, and you guys will agree that you have made this mistake in the past. And so me and my friends played Fortnite. How do you spell Fortnite? I guess this is how you spell Fortnite. I am not a geek. Anyway, So me and my friends played Fortnite. Now when I ask kids, is this sentence correct? They say yes. But abhi kabhi humne didn't we just now study that me is an object form? Me is an object form, right? ठीक है? I is the subject form and me is the object form. So then played is the action, and me and my friends are the one performing this action, played. So we are the performers. We are not we are the performers, so we are the subject. We are not the object. Okay, but this is the subject, please. So should it be me? No, it should not be me. The correct way to write this sentence was I and my friends played Fortnite. Now, is this sentence correct now? Because now you are using I. Now it's the subject form, and you are using you are naming yourself in the place of a subject. ठीक है? Played का action आप perform कर रहे हो. ठीक है? So it should be correct, but it is still not correct because you have to come last. You go last. Whenever you're talking about yourself in the sentence, you will put yourself at the end. The correct form of this sentence, I am writing in green because green light is the good light. My friends and I played Fortnite. Now this sentence is correct. Okay, you will come at the end. Now, another thing. If it would have been like this, let me give you another sentence. If it would have been, the teacher scolds my friends and I. Okay, let's not go with scolds. क्यों जी? The teacher praises my friends and I. ठीक है? Teacher तारीफ कर रही है. Is this correct now? No, ठीक है? Because the teacher is the one performing the action. The teacher is the subject. We are the object right now. ठीक है? हाँ, ये सही आपने किया कि you put yourself at the end. I का जिक्र end पे किया, अपना जिक्र end पे किया. That is correct. However, it should have been me over here, not I, because object form, right? So do practice like this. Okay, but me and I is the one that children get confused with the most. They, them, he, him, she, her. इसमें इतना confused बच्चे, they generally don't get that confused. I and me is something that they confused. But you only have to remember that I is the subject form and me is the object form, right? So over here, I'm just going to end the a lecture. You can, I'm going to attach a game in the description box. Do play it. Okay, do play it and comment your score. And if you have anything that you did not understand this lecture, please do ask me in the comments. Okay, I'll be available to you guys always. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.